we are going to clarify issues that has been ongoing. Number one, there is this few handful members that are claiming that Mpumalanga is saying Floyd, hands off Floyd. We want to put it very clear that Floyd must go. We don't care where he's going to, whether he's going back to the EFF, whether he's going home. It's none of our business. So we are just saying the Floyd must go. And I don't know how they've dragged me into that information or test team that they are doing with the VNs to think that if they are campaigning using my name, they will get it right. They are not going to get it right. Mpumalanga City, Floyd, 95% of members of Umkhonto is on the ground. But if Floyd must go.
I mean, guys, the boss lady of the MK party, Mary Paddy, had already made it clear that Floyd Shivambu was on his way out and Floyd Shivambu must go. She already made it clear. And I remember the reaction that came from the supporters of the MK party after this video came out. They said that, no, Mary Paddy has no authority to say that Floyd Shivambu must go. Floyd Shivambu is our Secretary General and he is not going anywhere. But surprise, surprise, today as we speak, Floyd Shivambu has been demoted inside the MK party from the Secretary General of the party to an ordinary member of parliament. This is a demotion, and I seen on social media, but this is something that a lot of Floyd Shivambu supporters do not want to accept, the fact that he has been demoted. I mean, guys, Floyd Shivambu was the Secretary General of the MK party. This guy was the engine of the MK party. He was the CEO of the MK party, and right now he is just going to be an ordinary member of parliament. It's not like he's going to be a chief whip or anything in parliament. Right now he is going to be led, and I think this is the reason why Floyd Shivambu has been doing the interviews recently. And one of the things that Floyd Shivambu has been saying a lot in these interviews of his is that I did not join the MK party to lead it. I did not join the MK party to lead it. So when you look at the whole scenario, it looks like everybody else, including Floyd Shivambu, could actually see the writing on the wall, despite the supporters of the MK party. Because how can Floyd Shivambu go on national television and keep reiterating the fact that he did not join the MK party to lead it, and he would totally be fine with being an ordinary member of the MK party, and even if he's removed as the Secretary General of the MK party, he would not resign from the MK party. So Floyd Shivambu was trying to tell the people that, guys, it's bad here. In the words of Gwedemantashe, kubipa. He was trying to tell everybody else that, guys, I'm on the way out. I'm on the way out. And the fact that this guy has been removed from the Secretary General to being an ordinary member of parliament, it is clear. I mean, like right now, it is clear. He's on his way out. The people that actually want Floyd Shivambu out have already achieved 50% of their task. Right now, it's just to boot him out of the political party. And I remember this is something that we actually spoke about when Jacob Zuma started to recruit all of these people from other political parties and elevate them into the positions of power. We did say that Jacob Zuma taking these people from other political parties and elevating them from into the positions of power and ignoring the people that have started with the MK party, this is going to be problematic inside the MK party. But somehow, you know how the supporters of the MK party are. They always defend everything. They always defend everything to say that, no, Jacob Zuma knows what he's doing. The people inside the MK party, they know the vision of Jacob Zuma. So there's no way that any of these people can actually go against what Jacob Zuma says. And we did say that the people that have started with the MK party when it was just an idea are going to be pissed off with the fact that the likes of Floyd Shivambu, Busiswe Mkhobane, Advocate Dalimpofu, Bongani Shiluva, all of these people come from outside and now they are holding the positions of power and they are ignored. We did say that it was going to be problematic inside the MK party, but no, man, you know, like there's something about the supporters of the MK party, man. I don't know if there's something there in KZN. I don't know if there's something in the water there in KZN. I actually do not know. So yesterday, the news actually came out that Floyd Shivambu has been booted out, man. He has been booted out, and now he's just going to be an ordinary member of parliament. And I wonder how he's going to face the EFF. You know, the supporters of the MK party saying that, no, this is strategic. Jacob Zuma did not actually demote Floyd Shivambu. This was strategic on his part. Floyd Shivambu is being molded into being the leader of the MK party. I mean, like, this is a narrative that these people are driving right now, that Floyd Shivambu is being molded into being the leader of the MK party. Still, they cannot see the writing on the wall that Floyd Shivambu is on his way out. They cannot see it, that Floyd Shivambu is on his way out. Some people are saying, I remember I was watching a video yesterday of some guy. He's also a content creator. He was saying that the EFF needs to be very careful with the Floyd Shivambu going into parliament, because Floyd Shivambu going into parliament, it means that the MK party is going to be strong in parliament. This guy was trying to say that the EFF needs to be careful because Floyd Shivambu is going to be a notable force inside the MK party. So by him saying that, he basically acknowledged that the MK party is incompetent in parliament. But he cannot actually realize that this is what he has actually done. By saying Floyd Shivambu going to parliament, it is going to help the MK party being strong in parliament. It means that the MK party is incompetent in parliament. And again, this is something that we have been saying for a very long time, that the MK party, it is just an official opposition party in parliament by name. But if you look at the political party, if you look at their performance, man, their performance is poor. Their performance is poor. The official opposition party in parliament, it is the EFF, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, man, the EFF, when it comes to quality, they have a lot of quality compared to the MK party, man. These people, man, I don't know what the hell is happening with these people. I don't know what the hell is happening with these people. So right now, Floyd Shivambu, man, the only thing that he needs to do, and before I go anywhere else, guys, is Floyd Shivambu going to wear those pep store regalia of the MK party? Is Floyd Shivambu going to wear those pep store camouflage things of the MK party? I mean, like, I still do not understand, man. How can Floyd Shivambu actually leave a political party where he was actually respected? I mean, the supporters of the EFF, they respected Floyd Shivambu. They loved Floyd Shivambu. Floyd Shivambu inside the EFF, there is no way that he was going to get this kind of treatment. And he left all of that to be the lapdog of Jacob Zuma, to tell the people how wonderful Jacob Zuma is. Jacob Zuma is the best thing to ever happen in this country. But today, the same Jacob Zuma has demoted Floyd Shivambu from being the Secretary General of the political party. I mean, like, I wonder how can Floyd Shivambu actually make such a blunder? And this guy is being... this guy is being paraded as a political scientist. They say Floyd Shivambu is the smartest politician in South Africa. Floyd Shivambu is number one when it comes to critical thinking, when it comes to political maneuvering. Floyd Shivambu is number one. But for some reason, he left the EFF, where he was respected, where he held a very powerful position. And I don't think anybody was actually threatening the position of Floyd Shivambu inside the EFF. And he went to the MK party. And right now, not even a year, he has been demoted. He has been demoted, and right now he is doing the TV interviews, trying to console himself and trying to convince himself that he does not need any position. That no, even if I'm removed from all the positions inside the MK party, I don't mind. I can still be an ordinary member of the MK party. This is something that you would never see inside the EFF. So he left the EFF to join the MK party only for him to be treated like this. But it looks like all of us could see it, but Floyd Shivambu could not see it. So the letter that was released by the MK party yesterday, it actually said that, let me see if it appears properly on the screen. I don't want to read something that you guys cannot see. Okay. It says that yesterday, the 2nd of June 2025, President Jacob Zuma met with the national officials of Umkhonto weSizwe Party to reflect on the state of the organization. As part of the deliberations of the national officials, the matter pertaining to the recent trip undertaken by the Secretary General Floyd Shivambu to Malawi was reflected upon. After lengthy discussions and considerable inputs from the national officials, it was concluded that the actions by the Secretary General were found to be against the spirit and the prescripts of the MK Party Constitution, most specifically Section 3 under the offences, which stipulates the following. undertaking international trips and partaking in activities and programs that are opposed to the agenda of the MK party or an allied party. Noting that on the 12th of March 2025, the Republic of Malawi Chief President Magistrate delivered a ruling that granted the South African Republic request for extradition. It is common knowledge that Bishop Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary Bushiri skipped bail and are to return to South Africa to stand trial on various charges. Based on the deliberations by the national officials, it was reaffirmed that the trip was not officially sanctioned, based on the deliberations by the national officials, it was reaffirmed that the trip was not an official sanctioned program of the organization or the president, which therefore goes against the constitution of the party. So guys, I want us to focus here. This is the part that I want us to focus on. Based on the deliberations by the national officials, it was reaffirmed that the trip was not an official sanctioned program of the organization or the president, which therefore goes against the constitution of the party. The MK party and its leadership has been approached by members of various sectors of civil society and has taken due consideration of the gravity of this matter. Due to the serious nature of this matter and its implications for the party, its image, values, and principles, the president and the national officials were left with no other option but to act swiftly in addressing this matter. So you remember Floyd Shivambu recently did an interview on Newsroom Live, and one of the things that Floyd Shivambu said on this interview on Newsroom Live is that everything that he did with the knowledge of Jacob Zuma. Everything that he did with the knowledge of Jacob Zuma. So right now, the question that actually comes to my mind is, was Floyd Shivambu actually set up with this trip of Malawi? Was he set up to go to Malawi to meet those officials in Malawi, to meet with Bushiri? And after meeting with Bushiri and the MK party, distancing themselves so that Jacob Zuma can stab him in the back the same way he stabbed Julius Malema in the back? Because this is what it sounds like. It sounds like Floyd Shivambu was actually set up by this trip to Malawi, because in the interview that Floyd Shivambu recently did in Newsroom Live, this is what he said.
Provincial secretaries and regional secretaries would do. There is nothing which I do without informing the president. There is no political program that I engage myself in without making the president aware. And there is no decision that I communicate to the membership of MK and externally without the president knowing.
So he was aware prior to you getting on a plane and going to Malawi. I want us to be specific about that.
Yeah, let me be specific about.
So Floyd Shivambu says that Jacob Zuma knew about this trip to Malawi. And in his defense, again, in his defense, some of the supporters of the MK party, they are saying that no, Floyd Shivambu was sanctioned to meet with the officials in Malawi, but not to meet with Bushiri. But guys, are you guys honestly telling us that Floyd Shivambu would actually meet with Bushiri, knowing how controversial the trip was going to be, without the knowledge of Jacob Zuma? Because Floyd Shivambu, he should have known that if I'm going to pose in pictures with this guy, they are going to slander me in South Africa. I'm going to face a lot of backlash. So are the supporters of the MK party trying to tell us that Jacob Zuma and the MK party didn't know that Floyd Shivambu was going to meet with Bushiri? Because I don't want to lie, I find it very hard to actually understand it. I find it very hard. There is absolutely no way that you're going to go out, and it's like Floyd Shivambu going out and meeting with, I don't know, man, I'm trying to find a criminal that is quite famous. And are you telling us that this guy is going to meet Bushiri without the knowledge of Jacob Zuma? Floyd Shivambu did this on his own, meeting with Bushiri on his own. I cannot accept that, guys. I don't want to lie. I cannot accept that. And I think this trip was actually a set-up to actually get Floyd Shivambu outside of the MK party. It was a set-up to get Floyd Shivambu outside of the MK party. And it's so funny how the tone changed after he was demoted as the Secretary General of the MK party. It's so funny how his tone suddenly changed when he was demoted as the Secretary General of the MK party, because in the same interview, Floyd Shivambu said that I am not going to apologize for seeing Bushiri. I am not going to apologize for Bushiri. And again, I am going to hone in on the supporters of the MK party. I remember when the story broke, the defense that came from the supporters of the MK party is that, is it a crime to go to church? This is what these people were actually saying, that there is nothing wrong with what Floyd Shivambu has done, and there is no crime with going to the church. They forget that the man that is running this church has been accused of rape, he has been accused of money laundering and other numerous crimes. And they say that, no, you guys cannot want the MK party to punish Floyd Shivambu for going to church. Anybody has a right to go to church. This is what these people were saying. Basically saying that they don't care about the women that were abused or raped allegedly by Bushiri in this country. They don't care about the rights of the women that were abused by this guy. As long as they defended their Secretary General, they were fine. They don't care about these women. I still do not understand, man, the psyche of the supporters of the MK party. This is one thing that I'm finding it very hard to understand. I'm finding it very hard to understand that your Secretary General is going to meet with someone who has been accused of raping South African women. And we know the matters of gender-based violence in this country. We know that women are being sexualized in this country. We know that women are being abducted. We know that women are being killed. We know that women are being raped. And for these people to actually be okay with the fact that their Secretary General was meeting with a guy that has been accused of these crimes, and to say that there is nothing wrong with that, I don't understand the psyche of these people. I honestly don't. I don't. And if you look at how these people have been defending Floyd Shivambu, you can actually understand why the country is where it is today. If you look at how these people have been defending Floyd Shivambu on some of the issues that are indefensible, you can see why the country is where it is today. Because there are people in this country that are not willing to stand up and saying that as much as I love this political party, as much as I love this politician, I do not agree with what they have done. I totally do not agree with what they have done. They are not willing to say that. They are okay with everything that their Secretary General was doing. They are even okay with their Secretary General meeting with someone who has been accused of rape. They are okay with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It reminds me of that case. You remember when that lady, Mary Party, came out, the boss lady of the MK party came out and said that the deputy president of the MK party tried to sleep with her. And today there are a lot of allegations around her, surrounding her name. And she believes that all of these were cooked behind the scene by John Klopp. The same supporters of the MK party, they came out and said that what is wrong with John Klopp trying to shell a lady, to try to hit on Mary Party. They said that there is nothing wrong with what John Klopp did. Nothing wrong. The deputy president of the party trying to sleep with the provincial coordinator, they say there is nothing wrong with that. This is how much these people are actually willing to defend the nonsense inside the MK party. This is how much they are willing to defend that nonsense. I mean, like, man, sometimes I do not understand the black people, man. I honestly do not understand the black people. I don't understand the black people, man. I don't. So Floyd Shivambu was arrogant on this interview that he did on the national television and said that I am never going to apologize for meeting with Bushiri. I don't care about these South African women that are being raped. I don't care about this issue of the gender-based violence in this country. I don't care about the ladies that have actually accused Bushiri of these numerous crimes. I don't care. I am never going to apologize for meeting with Bushiri. This is what Floyd Shivambu said.
The whole thing. And one thing which I never apologized on and I will never apologize on is when I went to see Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and then he said, let's go to church. I said, I'll go to church.
A few moments later.
On behalf of myself and everyone else who is involved, we want to regret that the decision in terms of the visit to Malawi was not consistent with the constitution of Mkondo Nsizwe, as is reflected in the statement.
I mean, like, this guy left a political party where he was not even defending himself or defending his honor. He left his political party where he was not even from saying, I will never defend going to Bushiri, man. I will never defend going to that church of that criminal, to say that we regret that trip and it went against the constitution of the party. And we are supposed to believe that this is the smartest politician in this country. We are supposed to believe that this is the smartest politician in this country. Like, it is insane, man. It is insane. And for the people that are saying that Floyd Shivambu is totally okay with being redeployed, aka being demoted. I mean, like, you remember, guys, Floyd Shivambu also spoke yesterday during this media briefing. And look at the face of Floyd Shivambu. Look at his body and try to convince me that Floyd Shivambu is okay with the fact that he has been removed as the Secretary General of the MK Party. Left the EFF as the Deputy President of the party, went into the MK Party, became the Secretary General of the political party. Now, just an ordinary member of this political party. And somehow the people are trying to convince us that Floyd Shivambu, like, is fine with the decision. Just look at his body language, man. Look at his body language.
And the national officials, the president, I want to take this opportunity to thank the president, Jacob Gedletlekisa Zuma, and the leadership of Mkhonto Isizwe and the membership for having assigned me a very important role to become a national organizer and then Secretary General. I want to confirm that the national officials have taken a decision which I fully accept as a disciplined member of Mkhonto Isizwe. We've been redeployed to the National Assembly. No, we will continue to play the role of advancing the agenda and program of Mkhonto Isizwe.
No, you have not been redeployed. You have been demoted. You have been demoted, man. Like, do not play with the words.
Agenda and program of Mkhonto Isizwe. It has been an invaluable roles that we have played and a humbling experience that we have been assigned by the president. I want to thank him for leading the program of unification of all the progressive forces in South Africa. That is the agenda that we're going to continue to pursue. I think that will clarify the issues that pertains to this. And on behalf of myself and everyone else who is involved, we want to regret that the decision in terms of the visit to Malawi was not consistent with the constitution of Mkhonto Isizwe, as is reflected in the statement. And we fully accept the new responsibility. We'll continue to play a role and build the organization towards the 2026 local government elections and towards the 2/3 majority victory in the 2029 general elections.
I mean, like, Floyd Shivambu actually believes that the MK party will survive until 2029. I mean, like, that is wild, man. That is wild. This guy actually believes that the MK party will survive until 2029. There is absolutely no way that the MK party is going to survive until 2029. Like, I'm willing to bet on that. Like, you know, when it comes to this, man, when it comes to this, I'm willing to bet real money, guys. let's put money on the table. I'm willing to bet real money. There is no way that MK party is going to survive until 2029. Maybe 2026, yeah, but 2029, nah. I don't think so. I actually don't think so. And Floyd Shivambu has been warned, man, like the pushback has been very strong inside the MK party. You remember there was a video that once trended a couple of months ago where Natin Tleko basically told Floyd Shivambu that, you know, this thing of yours of arriving late in the meetings, man, you do not value your membership. Like Nathi Nhleko basically threatened Floyd Shivambu in front of everybody else and said that you do not value your membership. And came back and said that I am only going to apologize to Floyd Shivambu because the elders inside the political party have actually pushed me into apologizing to Floyd Shivambu. Meaning that he meant what he said. He meant what he said. And you remember this guy was also accused of writing that letter, of writing that you remember that statement that John Hlophe was supposed to read in Parliament when Jacob Zuma attended, and that statement was so poor that nobody actually remembered what John Hlophe said. And apparently John Hlophe was quite pissed off with the fact that this guy is the one that wrote that statement, and the same statement that could not even remembered by anybody else. And it looks like, guys, inside the MK party, man, if you piss off John Hlophe, man, you are on your way out. You are on your way out. The only person that can actually contain John Hlophe is Mary Pad. It's Mary Pad. I mean, Floyd Shivambu has been warned time and time again that you are going out. You are going out. You remember how the daughter of Jacob Zuma came at Floyd Shivambu? You remember how she came at Floyd Shivambu saying that Floyd Shivambu is the worst thing to ever happen to the MK party? And I remember after those rantings, after those tweets of Duduzile Zuma on social media, basically insulting Floyd Shivambu, saying that, fuck you, Floyd. You are the worst thing to ever happen in this political party of my father. I remember a youth leader there inside the MK party. He went to the Hustlers Corners podcast and said the same thing, to say that Floyd Shivambu is the one that has been sowing divisions inside the MK party. Floyd Shivambu, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be so divided inside the MK party. So this guy, they are blaming him for the nonsense that is happening inside the MK party. So when you see the members of the MK party fighting, when you see these people fighting for everything, they are blaming Floyd Shivambu for all of that. They are blaming Floyd Shivambu for all of that. So now his peers are making fun of the fact that he has been kicked out. And of course, Fikile Mbalula is in the chat. Fikile Mbalula says that Jacob Zuma uslech. They made Floyd draft the constitution only to use the same constitution to remove him. They made Floyd Shivambu draft the constitution only to use the same constitution to remove him. I mean, like, they are done with Floyd Shivambu. They are done with Floyd Shivambu. And I remember that interview that Julius Malema did on ENCA. And one of the things that Julius Malema said, and he was correct to say that, Jacob Zuma, when he's done with you, man, he spits you out. He throws you out like a used condom. Like, this is what Julius Malema said. This is what Julius Malema said. And this is what people have actually said to Floyd Shivambu, that, once you are done with the constitution of the MK party, the structures and everything, they're going to kick you out because they no longer need you. Now, they are using the same constitution that you drafted to kick you out. The so-called political... the so-called political scientist, man. Political scientist, my backside. So you remember Fikile Mbalula saying that Floyd Shivambu is not even going to end this year as the Secretary General of the MK party. And people said that, Fikile Mbalula, you are talking nonsense, man. There's no way. Floyd Shivambu is not going anywhere. You guys need to play. You need to pray for Floyd Shivambu, because I don't believe he's going to end a year there. I don't know how he's going to end this year. He needs your prayers. He has been talking bad about me, saying that I do not want him and he won't come to the ANC. Then Fikile Mbalula continues to say that Floyd Shivambu says that he hates him, but he doesn't hate Floyd Shivambu because he doesn't know Floyd Shivambu. The only people who know Floyd Shivambu is Julius Malema and the EFF. I was never in the struggle with you. You came with these people. Man, this whole thing, man, of Floyd Shivambu, man, like, it is not breaking news, guys. I mean, like, we need to be clear about that. It is not breaking news. It is not breaking news. It is not. It is not breaking news, guys. And you remember this interview that Julius Malema once did on ENCA when he was talking about Jacob Zuma and saying that the only person that Jacob Zuma is loyal to is his daughter, Duduzile Zuma. It is Duduzile Zuma. And this is the same argument that people used when they said that Duduzile Zuma needs to be disciplined for saying all of those horrible things about Floyd Shivambu. But people actually reminded the supporters of the MK party of what Julius Malema actually said about the relationship of Duduzile Zuma and his father and her father.
To read. Go and look at the videos of the people who were with Zuma from the beginning. From when he was accused of rape, from when we made him president. I even dropped a tear at the Union building. And then subsequently we didn't support him. We were saying Kgalema must be president and all of that. Look at all those people who supported Zuma under those circumstances. Not a single one of them is still with Zuma. So once he uses you, he throws you very far. But there is one person who's always by Zuma, and Zuma has never dropped this person. It's the daughter, Duduzile Zuma.
Yeah, well, suppose naturally.
It's not natural. How would it be natural between me and Ratana? That Ratana comes and run affairs of the EFF and we say it's natural. You're going to be the first one to talk about you. This is a family trust, Ratana trust, and all of that.
And he was right. He was right. He was right. Everybody that has actually worked with Jacob Zuma has been tossed aside. You remember even the beginning of this year, Jacob Zuma, last year, before the elections, he used to go to these churches and campaign for the MK party in these churches. And apparently there was something that he actually promised the pastors and the deacons in those churches, and he did not deliver. He did not deliver, and some of these people actually took him to the courts. I remember there was a court case involving the teachers saying that no, we left our careers to be the members of parliament of the MK party, and in couple of weeks, not even a month, these people were kicked out of the MK party by Jacob Zuma. Can you just imagine, man, leaving your career, your solid career as a teacher, joining the MK party and being given a seat in parliament? You being happy without even earning your first salary, you are kicked out. This is how Jacob Zuma actually operates. This is how he operates. And for Floyd Shivambu failing to see that, it is something that I still do not understand till today, man. It is something that I still do not understand till today.
Whatever crime, Floyd, in all his wrongness, and we all agree, that thing Malawi, he did not think the arrogance was not going to help him. But in all those crimes that Floyd committed, I tell you now, it has got nothing to do with Malawi. Malawi became an excusable reason,
of course,
for Zuma and his cabal, to remove Floyd. They had nothing because politically they could not challenge Floyd. Floyd was shaping the discourse of the MK, was building the MK, was putting the political character. Tina Besna has the political character MK meeting before Figu Floyd. Bekushwantwa ubaba uthi ubulele uba ulala ubaba angahamba nengila zakhe ayesibhedlela ayohlala esibhedlela nengila zakhe for a month ne MK ngabipha esibhedlela nengila zikaZuma. That was the story of MK. That was the reality of the MK. Kungekho direction kumamela bethwanguza emsini onge mamela bethwanguza emnyameni ongenanyanga. Bethwanguza njengapha behamba emnyameni ongenanyanga. Ubaba icawa lisepostile apha. Kusepostile apha. Injalo ke into ukuba into yomuntu, because you can steal the vision. If you are not the carrier, you will never get it right. And yabona lo.
You guys are still gonna learn. You are still gonna learn how Jacob Zuma operates, and it looks like many of you are not aware of how Jacob Zuma operates. So And if you look at the people inside the MK party, man, that come from the EFF, they have been demoted, man. Look at Mzwanele Manyi. Mzwanele Manyi was the chief whip. He has been removed as the chief whip of the MK party. You look at Busiswa Mkhobane. Busiswa Mkhobane has been essentially removed as the provincial convener of the MK party in Mpumalanga. And now Floyd Shivambu has been removed as the secretary general of the MK party. I guess Dalimpofu is next. They are failing to understand how Jacob Zuma operates. This is what they have actually failed to understand, despite the ordinary South Africans telling them that, guys, this is how this guy operates. This is how this guy operates. Once he's done with you, he's going to toss you out. And they've actually failed to understand that. So right now, we're going to wait for the so-called resignation of Floyd Shivambu from the MK party, because it is imminent. It is imminent. Just like we told them that Floyd Shivambu will be removed from the Secretary General of the MK party, we are telling them right now that even in Parliament, he is not going to last. He's on his way out. And Duduzile Zuma and Mary Party have essentially won. They have won. And guys, that's all I can say today. Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button. The most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.